Well, looking back at sort of the time, the reign, shall we say, of Boris Johnson, he's going to be an interesting one. Um, Certainly, he will go down in history as a very, very bad prime minister. Um, Certainly, being unable to control his cabinet, having a very directionless sense of travel, basically saying, "Go in that direction," and then we'll go, okay, but where do we go? Where do we stop? We're going in that direction, but where exactly are we going? Just go in that direction and everything will be fine, and that's what Johnson ultimately really was as a leader. We've talked about his sort of leadership style from sort of the snippets we've seen from, like, Dominic Cummings' diary that he sort of released, and how Cummings talked about what Johnson was like as a leader. And of course, you've got to remember, Dominic Cummings was pretty much the parrot on Johnson's shoulder. So, you've got no reason not to believe what Cummings says about sort of Johnson's type of leadership style. But with little now, just over a month left for him as in being in the position of prime minister, and very much, I think, rightly accused of being very, very lethargic as a prime minister, because he hasn't really done anything. Even now, there's stuff maybe you could be doing, addressing, even having crisis meetings. He didn't even go to a Cobra meeting about the heat crisis that was just going on just a couple of weeks ago now. Chances are it's going to happen again, and Boris, Johnson just won't show up to them. He certainly has lost interest. But what is next for Johnson? And I think what is next, would not only suit Johnson to an absolute T, but it is something that could certainly provide and would certainly be a lot of danger to the current British political climate. So what is Johnson going to be? Well, I think Johnson is going to get an offer from maybe the Darcy brothers, maybe even Rupert Murdoch. He is going to get the offer to be a radio star. So before we go talking about sort of Johnson's rise to radio fame, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can, buy me a coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help support the channel that way. There is also links down below to the Pony Club, the YouTube subscription thing that we have down below as well. And of course, the YouTube thank you button as well. So as always, thank you very much to everyone who does support the channel, even if all you do is just hit the like and share button. So how is this going to happen? Well, currently you look at the moment, and Johnson has very much committed to saying he wants revenge. From his comments to even Nadine Dorries and Michael Fabricant publicly saying that Johnson intends to make a comeback. It is probably at the moment the worst kept secret in all of Westminster history that Johnson is desperate to make a political comeback. But that political comeback for him is probably going to be blocked for one simple reason. Now, if Rishi Sunak won the Tory leadership contest, absolutely, I think Johnson could absolutely cause trouble on the backbench and certainly have a good shot at making a political comeback. The problem comes is that Liz Truss is ultimately the one who is going to win. She is the person who is 90%, as I've said before, 90% certain she is going to win. The big problem becomes is that the Tory right wing have decided we are taking down our Boris Johnson mast, and we are now assembling it on Liz Truss. We are striking our sails with her, and she becomes the leader of this new Tory right-wing alliance and coalition, which Boris was the previous leader of. So what's his role going to be in Parliament after that? Not to mention, he's got three big challenges he has to face. First of all, if he gets suspended by the Commons and Privileges Select Committee. If he gets suspended by that, that's a by-election. That triggers a by-election. So he's got to win that if he gets suspended. His second challenge, of course, will be trying to hold his seat in a general election, because his odds of holding it aren't very, very good. And indeed, there's been some talk that he might switch seats with Nadine Dorries. And her seat's a lot more safer than his. So that could happen. And of course, his third challenge is, as we've said, he's got to find something to do post-September. Now, he might try and sort of plot revenge, but, you know, he might be talking the talk, but he won't be able to walk the walk, where it becomes that opportunity to take revenge and reassert himself as he sees himself the rightful leader of the Tory party. But as long as Liz Truss is there and she doesn't explode, but then again, obviously November, as we've talked about that, that is a real possibility if Liz Truss just explodes. I think that could happen. But we all know Johnson loves the spotlight. He loves talking. He loves performing. What profession suits Johnson to a T? Well, it would become being a shock jock. Now, in America, obviously, you've got the big ones like, you know, Tucker Carlson, you know, Rush Limbaugh back in the day. And I'm pretty sure if there were a couple of examples of Rush Limbaugh, like admonishing like potential Republican candidates in primaries or even contests, and they've lost because Rush Limbaugh dared to sort of, you know, they got on Rush Limbaugh's bad side. So whether he will amass that power that sort of we see from, like, you know, people like Tucker Carlson and Rush Limbaugh, maybe we don't have currently that type of figure in UK politics. Now, Farage has sort of flirted with that, but he's never really taken properly to the role because he's always had an aim. Rather than being a shock jock, his aim was, you know, get us out of the EU. And that's very much been it. And of course, push the Tories more to the right. And he's achieved that. But he's never really committed to that role. Johnson could. And I think if the Darcy brothers or Murdoch went, here's a load of cash, you know, I think he could. I think he absolutely would. I think he'd absolutely take to that. Because if he could accumulate that power, he could have a massive influence on the Conservative Party that have to take none of the responsibility. And of course, where he could end up, you don't know. Maybe you could end up on talk radio. That's probably a quite big possibility. LBC, likely but doubtful. One option I think could happen is maybe he gets massively funded to become a YouTuber and sets up his own sort of political channel and maybe becomes the sort of Stephen Crowder type character, but more with, shall we say, Tucker Carlson's power, which would be very, very damaging to British politics. Because if you think you've seen Johnson cause trouble now, remember that 53% of the Tory party membership think that getting rid of Johnson was a bad idea, and also put him more highly than his two possible replacements, Liz Truss or Rishi Sunak. So remember, just because Johnson is gone doesn't mean that he's gone forever. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and a foundation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.